Hi everyone, I'm Dani Walker. Welcome to the 2019 Miss USA recap. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe as well as share this episode with your friends. Give it a thumbs up and comment your thoughts below in the description. And if you have not already followed me, please do so on Instagram at Dani Walker. And also, if you're watching from a mobile device, screenshot this episode and tag me at Dani Walker on Instagram and let me know what you guys think. And today I am here with Liz.
Yes.
This is Michigan USA 2018. So let's start with production.
It was really good.
I preferred our really long runway.
We definitely had a better runway. I thought the video packages were really good.
So much better. I thought that in the video packages this year, it seemed like, because what you guys don't know is that when we film our video packages for Miss USA, the way that happens is they ask us all kind of multiple but similar questions. And then whatever your responses are, get stitched together, and then that turns into your UCAP, which is the videos that you guys see during the show of the contestants. We never knew what was playing in those until the show. But it looked like this year that what happened was that the girls seemed to be able to just say what they wanted to talk about as if they were Miss USA, which I loved. It sounded more like their platform, so to speak.
Not really, because Florida didn't really get her brand.
I think Florida, I would say, was the only one who she just talked about more of like a fun fact. Mm-hmm. And the rest of the girls talked about
I liked how when they were introduced, though, they got to actually talk with the host instead of just watch their video packages.
I love that because you get to see a little bit of a girl's personality, just how she's interacting with people from day to day in a way that she can't really prepare for. It was just like a fun, simple, easy question, like a warm-up question. You get to see their actual personality instead of something that they prepare for every day, like all the onstage questions. I thought that the performances were good. So Nick Lachey performed, and so did T-Pain, and that was great.
Although I thought T-Pain was supposed to perform at the end.
So we were confused. I didn't see this, but some of our other sister queens said that they saw T-Pain rehearsing to perform with the final three. And when the final three were walking, normally there's a performer. And I thought it was strange, and I noticed that nobody was there for the final three. It was just them walking out.
I saw something about him straining his voice.
Other than that, I feel like it was good. It was a quality Miss USA performance. Nothing went, I felt terribly wrong. Let's talk about the contestants. So our top 15 was Florida, New Mexico, Arkansas, Ohio, Oklahoma, Iowa, Minnesota, District of Columbia, Louisiana, North Carolina, Kansas, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Hawaii, Nevada, Florida.
Love Florida. I had her in my top 15.
We talked about Florida, or I talked about
everyone
Florida.
in the top 15. I had in my top 15.
I mentioned Florida and what am I saying? Guys, it's been a long, what time is it?
It's 1 a.m. and we're getting way longer than
it's
your timer.
I'll cut it out. So basically it's 1 a.m. Let's also explain. We went to Miss USA. We also went to dinner, and then we went to the after party. So we're a little tired. We left early to do this for you guys. Obviously I talked about Florida, and she did really well. She competed tonight in evening gown. She did that great spin turn. Obviously a beautiful girl, but it was very competitive this year once it did get down to that top 10. I felt like for the top 10, it wasn't that anybody did bad, it was just that some did better.
Mm-hmm. That was everything.
That's all.
Every detail mattered.
I feel like when that's it, then you should be super proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Next would be New Mexico. So our first runner-up this year, you guys know that I said I could easily see her in a top 5 if not winning. Obviously, she came in first runner-up this year, which is an incredible accomplishment. Once again, her stage performance, swim, gown, her look at the end, I feel a gown, her how
she had great stage presence,
right? How she looks at the camera. Arkansas,
solid. I liked her in prelims.
Top 5. I talked about her. Still great, just stunning. Her face, just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio.
Love Ohio.
I love Ohio. I wouldn't have been surprised to see her in a top 5, but I would have liked to see her prelim hair for finals.
Oh, I actually liked her finals hair better.
Really? Because the finals hair was more here, and then prelims was more slicked
back. I don't like it slicked back.
See, I like
she looked like it was too Mother of the Bride for me.
I didn't get Mother of the Bride, but I loved it. Oklahoma, so Oklahoma top 3. Congrats Oklahoma. Congrats North Carolina, New Mexico. Really, congrats everybody. Y'all amazing. So I didn't talk about Oklahoma in the prelim recap. She was always on the edge for me. Now, I believe she competed at Miss America. I should double check this.
So yeah,
People
I don't follow that much.
Y'all are gonna correct me, I know, in the comments.
Yeah.
So for me, she was on the edge after prelims, but it doesn't surprise me that she advanced this far coming for Miss America, because I think that if you've competed there, like Ohio has, that you do have an advantage in interview.
I mean, I started with Miss America. It's definitely more interview heavy.
Were you a teen or a miss?
Miss?
Did you ever do state?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't tell me that. Wait,
I
did
didn't
you?
win. Yeah.
So? I didn't know that. Did you dance?
Mm-hmm.
Did you do videos?
Probably somewhere.
It's like cute Liz dancing.
I know.
But when I see an America girl transition well into USA, where she has great style, so Oklahoma wore Sarah's Miss Universe gown, which obviously, clearly a very USA type style. And when you know that she's coming from Miss America, probably has a strong interview, it's not surprising to see her advance. Iowa was a shock for, I would say, for both of us.
But I like seeing the dark horse.
But when she did come up,
She was very
when
good.
she came up,
very
when she was
personable
top,
on
very
camera.
Minnesota, obviously stunning.
Yeah,
just
love her.
a beautiful, beautiful girl. District of Columbia. So a lot of people were commenting about her story. She had a great story. I didn't know. That came across, I would say, with the UCAPs. She really impressed me. I could have seen her in a top 5 too. Louisiana, obviously a very beautiful girl. For me, what was hard was just the gown. I just wasn't a fan of the gown, and that was,
I don't think she got to do her gown.
no, but when I saw it in prelims, that's why. To me, it just
I
seemed
liked her
teen.
since she won. I wasn't surprised she made the top 15.
But it just seemed teen to me. That's why. And I had a hard time getting over that look of like a teen style gown.
Mm-hmm.
So, but obviously you can't just look at the gown. So she, and her interview. So
Yeah,
we
and
went
the
there.
scores are like wiped clean when you make top 15.
Right. And then we have North Carolina, our queen.
Mhm.
And
Loved her.
I'm gonna screenshot this photo, guys, because I have my list with all my notes and stuff that I've been using for all these videos. So I had North Carolina down on my prelims list, and I didn't talk about her because she was one of the contestants where it was just on the edge for me, and I just didn't know. I feel like when she walked out in gown, I just thought, wow. And obviously her package, like her UCAP package, the video package, which we found out means up close and personal. When she walked out for gown, I just said, oh my gosh, she looks amazing in white. I leaned over to the list, I was like,
yeah,
her in that white dress. And it's like, it's gotta be your night. And you know what's weird about USA in any pageant? You just don't know how you're gonna look on the stage. And when I saw her come out in that dress on that stage, it worked. Kansas, beautiful, obviously talked about
Loved
her.
Kansas.
Pennsylvania, a really big crowd favorite. I'm not surprised that she was up in a semifinal. Maryland, talked about her in the last video. She was beautiful on stage again tonight, and just stunning girl. Hawaii was on the edge for me. After another one that was, I was like, I don't know which way it could go, so I didn't mention her in the prelim recap. I did have her down. Considering this is her second or third pageant, because I believe she had a local title before she won her Hawaii pageant.
She said this is her second pageant.
So she thinks, but I'm pretty sure she had the local. I don't know if it was appointed or if she actually won it. Nevada. So Nevada I talked about in the other video because I was so excited that she softened her makeup look.
Mm-hmm. I liked Nevada.
I loved that.
I liked her in prelims too.
A little disappointed that not everybody changed their gowns. Really, nobody changed. Nobody changed their dresses. Which I originally thought that, or had heard, that they could wear any designer for prelims, and then everybody had to do Sherry for finals.
Oh, I heard Sherry, or everyone had to do Sherry regardless.
It was all, so I'm surprised that even though everybody had to do Sherry, that they couldn't switch Sherry gowns. So let's talk about our top 5 on-stage questions. Arkansas, okay, so this is so funny. I might still have it in my phone somewhere. I was at a pageant. I wrote down a note about an on-stage question. It was about diversity. And I literally noted, stop saying, come together. Because I feel like every time somebody gets a diversity question on stage, they always say, and we need to come together. I hear it every single time. And that seems to be everybody's solution and fix-all for the diversity issue in the country. So when Arkansas said, and everybody needs to come together, when she got asked about the diversity question, I was like, no, you should be able to present a specific solution for that. But I think that when she went really vague, that hurt her from being in a top 3. You have to be specific, you have to be on brand. Oklahoma, they were asking about should basically felons or prisoners be able to vote. 2 states allow that and should more be able to. And she said if you're a law-abiding citizen, you should have that right. And if you're not abiding by the laws, then no. And people clapped for that. I think that helped her. So
I mean, her answer was concise. It was good.
But she got the audience. I'm telling y'all, the audience, it's like the audience is another judge. Nevada, they asked her a question about a contributing factor to gun violence. And I think that the only thing that hurt her, it wasn't really that her answer was bad. I felt like because the competition was so tight, since she did start to ramble and stumbled a little bit.
Yeah.
Granted, if I was a judge and she had a killer interview and I was in love with her, I would have still maybe advanced her.
You have to have all the judges on the same page.
Right.
So.
And usually not everybody agrees. But we've seen girls stumble a little bit and still win.
Yeah, but
I think they have to really love you to overlook it.
right.
There had to have been something in an interview, but we weren't.
But everyone was so strong. That it's,
Right. Now, in North Carolina, what I really loved about her answer, so they asked her about the Me Too movement and Time's Up and has it gone too far. And the first thing that she did was clarify what the movement was about. So she talked about that Me Too and Time's Up was all about basically creating safe workplaces, right? Where we're not going to fear that we're going to be sexually harassed or assaulted. So she defined that, and she says that as an attorney, that she doesn't believe that it's gone too far and that that's important to her to have these safer workplaces, really. And obviously got the audience going, well spoken, supported her answer, had that personal connection.
Yeah, she really did.
It was like dun dun dun, all of it. She had everything. And then New Mexico, so they asked her what's an issue in the 2020 campaign that candidates should address. And we talked about this. And I said, I bet you anything she's going to talk about immigration if she makes it to a top 5 or a top 3. And she did.
Well, she didn't even get asked about it. She brought it up.
She brought it up. But I knew that there would be that reference because obviously it's the brand. She talked about that. She thinks that it's not a simple issue. And it was very well spoken. She also referenced how she's from a border city, a border state. And so all of that was relevant. Also how her family immigrated from Mexico. That personal connection, which so was a very obvious advancement. Top 3, talking about millennials and how basically we would define being a millennial. And so New Mexico said impactful, North Carolina said innovative, and Oklahoma said diverse.
I'm sick of hearing the word diverse. Diversity, diverse, talking about
Empowerment,
race.
female empowerment. I feel like
It's just too generalized. I was just like, oh, she's tying it in again.
it's a little overused.
It's
now,
overused
like,
because she already talked about it in her last answer, and I just felt like it was repetitive.
what was interesting is I've been hearing so many contestants and all they talk about is I want to be a girl boss or female empowerment or diversity and representation and all these things. And I feel like in pageantry, not in life, and not saying that these things aren't great, but it's just that every girl is starting to say it. And it's just kind of like how when Kyra won, all of a sudden we saw this shift and girls were like, I'm in the STEM field and I want to talk about STEM or STEAM now. And you just hear it over and over. And my thing is, if that's your thing, do it. But I hope it's your thing before we hear it from another winner. Like if that's like what you've been campaigning for, your platform, what you advocate for, awesome. But only if that's you. Don't do it because you're going to jump on a bandwagon because you think that it's what judges want to hear.
Right.
That's not authentic.
I think hers is authentic. I just think it's overused.
Right, no, I'm not saying hers.
There could have been a better word.
Right, I'm not saying hers was.
Or tie in something different than your UCAP.
For girls out there that are preparing for a pageant. Like if that's you and you've already been on that stuff, keep it going. Like that's you. But for the ones who are thinking, I'm going to talk about female empowerment because it sounds good.
Well, also it's so vague.
Right.
Female empowerment's like,
so many girls just say that.
like, what is...
And I, right, like, what is
be
it?
specific.
What is it to you and how are you empowering females and what are you empowering them to do? Like impactful, at first I loved that word. I thought it was a great word. I thought it was a great way that you can tie in what you did. New Mexico was getting somewhere with it. And then I feel like maybe she lost her momentum or lost how she was going to wrap it up.
She did ramble a bit.
And I think that's what could have cost her. That's what could have hurt her if, we don't know what the judges were thinking before.
Yeah.
But prevented her from making it, from taking home a crown.
I don't feel like she needs to mention that her following is growing.
Well, but she was saying that it's impactful, so I understand her connection to saying, when my following is growing here, that I am now being impactful and inspiring others to do that. So I felt like she was trying to make that connection, and somehow it didn't quite connect.
I get it too. I just with the way it was phrased.
Exactly. I've totally been there on an onstage question though. I've done pageants where
Yeah.
I started somewhere and then halfway through I was like, what was my main point? Obviously, so North Carolina, when she said innovative and then she referenced the all-female legislative.
I like how she tied that in because they did that this week.
Exactly. So
And it tied in the city.
she talked about Reno. It's
Something current.
very like on brand, and how she wanted to be a part of progress like that.
And they're very, like, MUO is very, like,
Progressive.
females
I wonder
voting.
if the girls had to sign up to vote this year again. Nobody talked about that when we competed. Like, it wasn't a publicized thing, but it was when you get to pageant check-in, you get registered to vote. I wrote an extra note that I forgot to mention earlier before we wrap up. I understand lip fillers are a trend, and I've seen them look great and natural. It can go too far, and I don't want to call anybody out, but there were some contestants I did see on stage, and I'm just saying this for all of you out there who are getting ready for your pageant. When you go too far, it paralyzes your face. You were yawning.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I get it. If you want to fill your lips, fine. But when you take it too far and it starts to paralyze your facial features, you have to be able to transition your face. And what I noticed during prelims was that when a girl would try to transition the face, if they had been obviously filled, because some were obvious, that they would sort of go, it's just not a complimentary look on stage. So that's just my personal piece of advice, because it was something that for me was distracting. And I gotta say, I never saw North Carolina do that on stage. She doesn't look like she has filled lips either, but even if she does, it's not like a, ladies,
Well, it's
just
not like
be
you
careful.
can't get your lips filled, but
No,
like
I'm
if
saying
you
that-
don't go too far.
I'm saying if you go too
Yeah.
far though, it does, and it can cause paralysis around some of your face. Those are our thoughts. We have a vlog coming for you of our adventures. It's gonna be a fun one. Tomorrow we're going to Tahoe. So I'm excited. And so thank you guys for joining us on this episode. Make sure that you are subscribed, hit that notifications bell, follow us on social media, and come back for the next episode next time, guys. Thank you so much. Good night.
Bye.
Okay, yay. Oh, my butt hurts so bad.